I want to welcome everyone to Texas Silver. Today we are going to talk about silver. We're going to talk about the reasons why I personally stack or save silver. Okay. The main reason that I do it is it is actually my savings account. I do not save dollars or they're actually federal fiat notes, but these things right here, I don't save these. Every dollar that I make, I pay my bills with, and then whatever's left, I roll into assets, and that main asset being silver. Okay. Another reason why I save silver or stack silver is because I do have a pension, but I don't think it's going to be there when it comes time for me to retire, or I think it'll be the dollar's going to be printed worthless to where my pension, it'll be there, but what's promised is not going to have the purchasing power that it does today. Either that, or it could possibly be to where what has been promised they're not even going to be able to fulfill that. So my pension, if it's there, awesome. I just don't think it's going to be. So if you have a pension, I would also pay attention to this video. Okay. A reason that I like to stack silver is I have never saved so much money in my life until I started stacking silver. It's addicting. So once you start stacking, once you have that coin or bar, you don't want to go trade it back out for fiat trash. So for me, it's you stack it and you put it back and it keeps growing and growing, and it's just, for me, it's exciting to watch my stack grow. So I get to 100 ounces, I'm like, all right, I want 200 ounces, now I want 500 ounces, and so it becomes addicting, and it's a really good way to save money. So if you have difficulties saving money, it's kind of a buffer, because once you have that coin or bar, you want to hold on to it, but then also, if you do have to trade it out, it really makes you think, how bad do I really want this item? Is this a smart purchase? Because you have to take that coin or bar to a dealer or a coin shop or whatever and trade it for fiat cash. So that's why I like it. It has allowed me to put back a lot more wealth, more than I've ever been able to in my lifetime. Okay, for me, it's not an investment. I think eventually it will become an investment, but for me, it's more financial insurance, and I'll go over that later on. Okay, just know that silver is not, and when I say silver, I'm talking silver and gold. I just prefer silver. I think the only advantage, in my opinion, to gold is you have a lot more value in a small package. All right, so this is 1 ounce of gold, and then you have 1 ounce of silver. This is about $35, $40 today. This is $1,800. So you have a lot more value in a small package. Also, central banks and governments, stack gold. So I'm not bad talking gold. I like gold. I just, and I'm going to go over silver, why I think silver. I just think it'll perform better over time than what gold will. Okay. So whenever you're saving your silver, or why I'm saving it, this is for the long haul. This is something that I feel down the road is going to become possibly in a bubble, overvalued, and I'm going to trade that overvalued asset for another undervalued asset. Hopefully, say income producing properties, or something else. So you're constantly wanting to buy undervalued assets and then sell them when they become overvalued, and then it's just a cycle. So you're constantly, so then once you buy that undervalued asset, you wait till it's either making money for you, you hold on to it, or it becomes overvalued, and then you buy something that's undervalued. Okay. Also, if what I believe is coming never happens, I will be able to pass this down to my children. Okay. Silver and gold have been money for thousands of years, and it will continue to be money for probably thousands of years. In the Constitution, gold and silver are the only thing that defines money. There's no mention in the Constitution about Federal Reserve notes. This trash right here. Okay, in the Constitution, gold and silver are money. I believe that gold and silver will more than likely become money again. That backs whatever currency comes out next. I think it'll probably be gold backed. I don't think we'll actually go to exchanging gold and silver as coins, but I think that it will eventually back the next monetary system that comes out. Silver, for me, it is the most undervalued asset in the world. This stuff right here. Okay. That's why I stack silver. Another reason, because it is manipulated, the price is manipulated down, and it is the most undervalued asset, bar none, period. End of story, in the world. And so, like I said, you want to buy undervalued assets. Okay. The silver to gold ratio out of the ground, some say it's 10 to 1, 15 to 1. It just depends on who you listen to. But right now, silver to gold is priced at a 75 to 1. So it takes 75 ounces of silver to buy an ounce of gold, but it comes out of the ground at a ratio of 10 to 1. Okay. It has been predicted that we've reached peak silver. So, meaning we have pretty much found all the big deposits of silver, and so any deposits that we find, it's just over time is declining. So it's predicted that there's no more large deposits of silver to be mined. Okay, so silver production every year keeps declining. All right, so and these are reasons for silver. Okay, so when I'm talking about this is specifically silver in these instances. Okay. Over, I guess, since they've been keeping these records, 1.6 million tons have been mined of silver, and 90% of that have been consumed. Okay. This information is coming from an article that was put out by James Anderson with SD Bullion. So anything that I'm putting out, do your own due diligence, do your own homework, and don't just take my word for it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial planner or advisor. This is just what I'm doing, my thoughts, my opinions on silver. So obviously, you need to do your own homework and assess what's, best for you. Okay. So like I stated before, 1.6 million metric tons of silver have been mined, and only 90% remains. There have been 190,000 metric tons of gold that are mined, okay? And 6 billion ounces of that gold are still above ground, okay? 4 billion of ounces of silver are above ground, all right? 50% of gold above ground is in jewelry, 40% is in bullion, and then 10% is in other, which the article didn't specify what the 10%, but it's about 50% is in jewelry, and probably a little bit less than 50 is in gold bullion. Governments hold half or more than half of the gold bullion in the world. Also central banks. So governments and central banks hold about a little bit more than half of the gold bullion out there. Okay. SD Bullion actually says that silver is mined, it comes out of the ground at an 8 to 1 ratio. But right now silver is 75 to 1 ratio on, for price wise. So that's another reason why I do, the silver thing. Silver is predicted to be the first element to come extinct by scientists on the periodic table, because silver it's mined, and for the most part it's consumed. So remember that 90% of the silver that has been mined is no longer in existence. It's being used in electronics and other industrial stuff, and it gets slowly consumed over times. It ends up in landfills, and it's never going to be recovered. You know, it's in your cell phones, it's in solar panels, computers, TV screens. So whenever these items are, you know, disposed of, no one goes and pulls the silver out of these items. It goes to a landfill. Yeah, and you know, it's just in these little quantities that never will be recoverable because of the small amount. It doesn't pay at today's prices to take that silver out of these electronics. Silver is the most reflective and conductive metal on planet Earth. Okay, so it's used in all these electronics that we use that I just talked about. And so over time, silver is just going to become more and more in demand. We got this Green New Deal that's coming. Silver is going to be in electronic vehicles and in these solar panels. So the demand for it is just going to keep increasing. So that's another reason why I say silver. Gold, for the most part, is not used in, I think maybe some high-end electronics, there's some gold, but for the most part it's either in jewelry or it's in bar form. There's no other uses for gold except for is money and jewelry. Okay. JP Morgan Chase has the largest stack or hoard of silver in the world. They have 600 million ounces of silver. So what do they know that we don't know? Why, you know, they're not dumb. They know what's coming. Okay, so why would JP Morgan have all this silver if it's worthless? If, you know, it's just going to keep staying, you know, around $20 an ounce. They're manipulating the price because they're trying to accumulate it cheap. They don't want to pay high prices, just like we don't want to pay high prices. And so eventually I believe that the price is going to be manipulated to the upside, and you won't even believe how high the price is going to go. That's what I think is going to happen. I think eventually it'll get to the point where you're not even going to want to trade your silver for dollars. You're going to be wanting to trade it for another asset. Okay. I love silver because it's private. It can't be traced. It can't be taxed. I guess technically if you sell it, you are supposed to report it. So I'm not telling you not to do that. But, you know, if there's no record of it, if it gets transferred to someone or sold, you know, it's on you to report, you know, those earnings, you know, to the government on your taxes. Okay. You know, it can be passed down to your family, you know, when you pass, and it can't be taxed. All right, it's hard to explain. You have to feel it to know what I'm talking about. But when you hold something like this, it's you know that you're feeling that you're holding something real. And then this. So put these two in your hand and tell me which you would rather save. I'd rather save this. If you want to save this, that's on you. You know, and that's, you know, a lot of people will tell me that, you know, it's not smart for me to stack something like this, but this thing just feels incredible when you hold it. It's over 6 pounds of silver, and it's very deceiving how heavy it is till you actually hold it. It's incredible. But when I'm trying to get someone excited about stacking metals, I put this in their hand, and it's just, their reaction is priceless. So that's another reason why I get the 100-ounce bars. They're just impressive, and I like you know, handing them to people that I'm trying to get enthused about silver, and it's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. If you're able to put your hands on a 100-ounce bar, I would love to put my hands on a 1,000-ounce bar, but I haven't had, you know, that opportunity yet. But it'll happen one of these days. All right, just remember with silver, you know, don't buy the paper stuff. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So I would highly recommend buying the physical and holding it in your possession. Okay, dollars are just being printed. I mean, by the trillions these days, and the dollar's just going to be printed worthless. So that's another reason why I stack silver, because this is real money, and I know that this can't keep on forever. They're printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. They just passed that infrastructure bill. What was it? 1.2 trillion, I think, is how much that. I mean, how many more trillions of dollars are they going to print this year and over the next years? So this is going to be your preservation of wealth. This is what's going to, as the dollar declines, this is going to maintain or even gain, value over time. Okay. Right now, the only thing that backs up the dollar is faith. Okay. That it's essentially worthless. It's a fiat currency. There's nothing that backs it up. That's another reason why I stack silver. There is no real money that is used today for exchanging goods and services. Every country is on a fiat money system, and all that's going to come to an end. And when it does, it's going to be ugly. Okay, the dollar used to be backed by gold. We took the world off the gold standard, and I think the world's going to take us back onto the gold standard. Right now, China and Russia and other countries are buying gold at the fastest pace, including central banks that they've had, since the 70s, I believe. It's the fastest that gold has ever been purchased. So what do these countries and central banks know that we don't know? Do what the smart money is doing. Don't do what the mainstream media is telling you to do about buy the stock market. Why do they want everyone in the stock market? No one talks about gold and silver. It's because it's all about getting you to look over here and be scared or the fear of missing out. So they're trying to push everyone to stay in the stock market because the dollar is essentially worthless. So it's forcing everyone into the stock market because you can't, this I can guarantee is going to buy less tomorrow. So this has the potential to go up, and it will go up. That's my opinion. Okay. Right now, China has 10,000 tons of gold. I believe what they're doing is there, and they've publicly stated this, that they want to come out with a currency that is backed by gold. Russia has completely dumped the U.S. dollar. They don't have any U.S. dollar holdings, and they're buying gold with it. So do what the smart money is doing. Do what these countries and central banks are doing. Okay, and China is dumping the dollar slowly as well. Okay, another reason why I say gold and silver is because you have something real that's in your hand that you can hold and touch. It's also taken manpower, it's taken diesel, it's taken electricity to take this element out of the ground and turn it into something as beautiful as this silver eagle right here. So I think of these as little pieces of real estate. If you can't go buy real estate, which is another video, but I think real estate's overvalued, so I wouldn't recommend that anyways. But think of gold and silver as little pieces of real estate. Okay, they're going to at least maintain their purchasing power, if not go up. Okay. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but silver is my insurance plan. This is how my financial insurance plan. So this is how when the dollar collapses and they come up with whatever fiat trash or whatever they come up with next, digital dollar, this is how I'm going to transfer wealth from this paradigm or financial system to the next. Right now it's being manipulated. The price is manipulated down through the stock market. And I think eventually that's going to reverse and they're going to manipulate the price upward. Okay. I think the window of opportunity for getting these metals is getting very short. I think you still have a little bit of time, but I would get it now because once this thing kicks off, everyone's going to be trying to get a piece of silver, and it's not going to be obtainable. I don't care how much money you have, it's not going to be there. So if you're on the fence, should I buy, should I not buy, I'm going to encourage you to go out and at least get some constitutional silver, get you some junk silver, get you some mercury dimes, get you some quarters, and put those back. I use this saying, and JB stole it, but that's all right, I'll let him use it. But I can afford to be wrong. Can you afford for me to be right? So think about your financial situation and what you have going on, and just think, what would you do if the dollar were to become completely worthless? What would you do? What would you have for money? How are you going to pay your bills? What would you do? It's pretty scary. And I think the deals are coming. I think real estate is going to be devastated. I think there's going to be people dumping RVs. They're going to be dumping boats. They're going to be dumping cars. So make sure you're positioning yourself. I think this is going to be the biggest wealth transfer that the world has ever seen in history. And just make sure that you're on the right side of the trade. It's kind of exciting, but it's also scary at the same time. But just start positioning yourself. That way you can profit from this. Once again, just make sure that you are stacking the most precious metal out there. This stuff right here. Because if you don't have this, you're not going to be able to protect this. Again, I want to encourage you, if you're on the fence about precious metals, just go to a coin dealer and just see if you can put some hands on silver. And I'm telling you, it's different seeing it on video than actually holding your hand. It's incredible, and it's also very addicting. That's about all I have for today, and I hope everyone learns a little bit from this, even you seasoned stackers. And again, I appreciate the views, the likes, all the shares and the comments. Y'all are amazing. Until the next time, be safe.